Mix Artists has a membership of about 28, and the members are from throughout the Great Southern. I think Mix continues to be fresh and keep presenting interesting projects because we are a membership-based group, and so ideas come from the membership for what we might be doing.
I've been a member of Mix for many years now, over 10 years I guess, and I'm a participating artist in this Mix exhibition called Reservoir. For us in Albany, we've got a regional city of a certain size. We're lucky enough to have quite a big group of practicing artists in town. And so the strength of that sort of getting together as a group is really positive and powerful, I think, to just maintain people's energy and that need to talk and critique and understand, where your own work's going and to give feedback to others.
It's always great to be working with people who are like-minded and similarly passionate about their art practice, and also about what coming together in an exhibition kind of means. That's always fun, and actually just the final installation of an exhibition where people have been working away, and we may have had conversations during the process, but it's really that final presentation of the artwork and seeing the exhibition sort of come together, that is really joyful because you know that on everyone's part, there's been a lot of effort, a lot of consideration, a lot of choices made. And so then the final exhibition is sort of like the result of all of that. And when we have our exhibition openings, which are really well supported, people flock in and just love it. That is always a terrific feeling. You sort of feel not only as an artist that you're getting some nice feedback on your artwork, but also that you're actually offering something to the community that they're really, really wanting. That's just a great feeling.
I think Mix has sought to really develop and promote contemporary arts, contemporary arts practice in Albany.
Some of the themes for the exhibitions that we've had have really connected back to our location. So in 2006 there was an exhibition called Hotspot, and that was all about the biodiversity of the Fitzgerald River National Park, and because that had been identified as a biodiversity hotspot. That exhibition was terrific. It involved actually working with different community groups and school kids, as well as having artworks by 15 artists, and that became a touring exhibition that toured throughout the state over a couple of years. And more recently, another kind of very relevant local theme was the Anzac history, and so we had an exhibition called Homefront, and that was interesting in the development of that exhibition because we were really keen not to be kind of critical or offend people, but at the same time we really wanted to bring a contemporary art perspective to all of the commemorative activities that had been happening. So in the end, the exhibition had a really lovely tone to it of quite poignant and thought-provoking artworks, which were mostly dealing with the idea of loss and grief and waiting and longing. It was a beautiful exhibition, and that also became a touring exhibition, so that's still currently touring Western Australia. For the last 14 years, we've actually presented an annual exhibition or event as part of a bigger cultural program, and that's been the Great Southern program of the Perth International Arts Festival. That was terrific in that it provided us a framework. It meant that we were part of a program that got bigger publicity than we could generate ourselves. Now that PAF has withdrawn from the Great Southern, Albany Arts Festival season has emerged in that space, and it'll be interesting to see what the longer term presence of that is and how that develops. In terms of continue to be inspired, there's opportunities to do things other than the annual exhibition. This sort of program of exhibitions has met the needs of members, and it's sort of given us goals to work towards, which has been really good.
Housing it in the town hall, it's like right in the very centre of Albany, so it really captures the passing parade of people who happen to be walking down the street, as well as people who will specifically come to view the exhibition. I think Mix has sort of sought those venues to allow different audiences to engage with works.
At our exhibitions, we always ask for feedback from the audience. So we have a visitors book full of terrific comments, and each exhibition is actually supervised by one of the artists. Being on the main street of Albany, we get a lot of people who just come in to look at the building and then discover that there's a contemporary art exhibition here. And those that are willing to just spend a little bit more time than a quick walk through, even if they're not usually the type of person who would think they're interested in contemporary art, if they have a chance to have a conversation with one of the artists, it's amazing how people actually begin to open up and are willing to appreciate and learn a bit more about what some of the ideas are within the artwork.
We invite people's comments and discussion with people. So I've been here over the weekend with people of varying degrees of interest in art. Some people are really engaged with the stories behind the artworks, and that was a really lovely thing to really see people's quite intense interest in the works and the stories behind the making of the works.
Just that kind of feedback has changed the way that we've presented the exhibition, and it's sort of improved our conversations. When Mix started, it was very Albany focused, and there seemed to be a wall built between Albany and Denmark, but now we've got members from Denmark, which is great, and further afield. One thing that we really try to do also is actually develop an audience beyond the Great Southern. So we've presented 2 exhibitions which have become touring exhibitions through Art on the Move, and we're also taking this current exhibition, Reservoir, over to Art Geo in Busselton in April and May 2018. We see a lot of organisations bringing down artists from other places to the Great Southern, which is terrific because we can learn from them and we enjoy going to the talks and seeing what comes out of those projects. But the export of locally generated product, which is still, really high quality, the export of that to a metropolitan audience is actually really hard to achieve. Self-touring and being part of the Art on the Move touring program are the key ways that we've been doing that.
As a group, I think perhaps what inspires us is that thing of bringing our work to an audience and having a conversation about it. Hence, we've had artist talks, so we present perhaps a bit more of the background of the works to anyone who's interested to come.
It's had a fairly stable membership. There's a few of us who have been there from the early days, but we're always open to new members.
There's power in numbers, I suppose, to make things happen, to sustain energy, to have a crazy idea that you want to try out and have some support perhaps from other members to give something a go. That's worked really well for Mix in the past and hopefully will continue.
As of 2019, Mix will have been in existence for 20 years, and that's pretty good going for a community-based organisation.